Coming up next, how you get rejected for a job due to your social media. I'll tell you what to do when you're in the right role in the wrong place. We'll take your calls and your chats. It all starts now. Coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville. You're joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. It's all about you. Why? Because I know that you were created to fill a unique role through your work, your contribution. That means that you are in fact needed, and that means you must do it. And I'm here to help you get clear on what that role is, and then let's create a clear path for you to get there. So excited to have you with us. I'm Ken. I am your friend. Give us a thumbs up if you're in the chat room and you're excited about what is beginning to get clear in your head and heart. And you know that the time is coming for you to get going. So if you hear me ask a call or what time is it, you know I'm about ready to say it's time to go. And it's time to go for us today. How about some relevant information that helps you? So hiring managers are checking you out on social media. And I want to reveal to you some of the things that they are doing and things that they are looking at so that you are aware. This is a great article from Ladders. I contribute to Ladders. I write a column from Ladders on a monthly basis. Great resource for you, the American worker. A survey of nearly 1,000 people conducted by hosting website whoishostingthis.com found that nearly 1 in 10 workers have already experienced their social media persona being used against them in the workplace, with more than half of the respondents reporting that they feared their online content could be used against them. 22% of respondents who are in a hiring position, hiring others, admitted to not hiring people based on their online content. Photos were at the top of employers' concerned list. 66% of managers admitting that a photo dissuaded them from hiring someone, followed by text posts, 65%, videos and audio recordings. From the employee's perspective, the most popular situation in which they've had online content used against them was their discussion with peers, such as friends. 47%. You said something to your friends, either in the workplace or somewhere else, and they did their homework, and your friends, as my kids like to say, ratted on me. All right? Loose lips sink ships. Remember that old phrase? Anybody under the age of 30 is going, I have no idea what Ken's talking about. 37%, a significant other. Their discussion with a significant other. And then with family members, 26%. So again, I've hit that drum pretty hard here. Careful what you say, folks. Here's what people are forgetting about. Just because a website becomes obsolete doesn't mean the content you've posted disappears. On personal devices such as laptops and cell phones, 63% of users reported never deleting photos, the most popular response. Here are some of yesterday's top social media sites that you still have inactive profiles on, and maybe some stuff that doesn't put you in the best light. MySpace, 69%, PhotoBucket, 69%, Blogger, 64%, Flickr, 63%, Tumblr, 59%. So here's the deal. The article goes on to say how to keep it clean. I got news for you. Number one, if you've done, said, and posted things you've done and said that are boneheaded or even just mildly questionable, meaning your great-grandmother, would she be slightly concerned about it? Would it bother her, make her uncomfortable? That's a good rule of thumb. Remove it. And then don't do it again. Remove it and don't do it. Stop doing boneheaded things and posting things that if a potential employer saw, you would feel like, I don't want you to see that. Don't explain it away. Stop doing it. Clean it up and stop doing it. 844-747-2577, the number. 844-747-2577. A little bit later in the program. Going to go to the old laptop here, and we will get your questions in the chat room. Please make them straight and to the point. Otherwise, call the number right now or tomorrow or the next day. I'm here Monday through Friday, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. Live, you can call in. Because if I can't go back and forth with you like I can with a caller, it's going to be hard for me to answer the nuanced questions. So I love the feedback, love the chat questions. Keep them coming. But please help me help you. If, by the way, you know what movie that comes from, throw that in the chat room. Let's see how many youngsters we have, how many middle-aged people watching. Help me help you. What movie is that from? That's fun. Throw that in the chat room. We'll see how many people figure that one out. 844-747-2577 is the number. We go to Scranton, Pennsylvania, fictional home of The Office. Well, The Office isn't real, Madison. Scranton's real. Oh, stop it. She's giving me a hard time. It's a fictional TV show. Scranton. We know Scranton is real because Danielle's there right now. I digress. How do I get anything done around here with Madison checking up on everything I do and say? Please, please send cards and letters. Danielle joins us in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Danielle, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's going on?
So I need help finding my calling.
Okay.
I feel really off the right path. I've been trying to make a lateral transition to another job, but I know the root cause. I just need to find my sweet spot in a job that I love.
Okay.
I have a few ideas.
Good. Give me those ideas.
I have a few.
Yeah, let's start with what I want to start with what you're pretty certain about, okay? So you've been listening to the show long enough. You're using the jargon, sweet spot. So tell me what you do best, what you love to do most, and some results that really fire your soul up. Tell me what you know.
I like doing kind of things with a creative aspect.
Okay. Tell me exactly.
Okay. Well, just hobby level, I like to draw, paint, and, basically anything with
great. So
creative touch kind of fuels me.
Gotcha. So more in the artistic creation. Okay, good. And
the problem is I do have a bachelor's degree in science. I don't want to use.
Don't worry about it. Listen, Danielle, I could care less what your bachelor's in. I care what your sweet spot is, right? It is, it's very possible that you went to school and got a major in an area that you don't want to work. And it's okay. Doesn't make you a bad person.
Okay.
Doesn't make you a bad person at all. So I guess
I'm just dealing with, I feel like it set me back.
How old are you, Danielle? How old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah, please. You're not set back at all. Danielle, I went to college to get a degree in political science. I don't even have my degree, and I'm in broadcasting.
Okay.
So what do you think I think about that? Stop thinking that.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of in my head.
You are, because guess what? You just hijacked the phone call. I got to take control of it again. Okay?
Okay.
Because I want to know what your sweet spot is as much as you do, probably. All right? So we started with what you went to passion, what you love to do. You love to be artistic. I understand it's hobby level right now, but keep telling me, what is the thing, what is work that when you think about it, you get excited about it? If you engage in this task or function, that you kind of get distracted from everything else. You're just totally locked in. High emotion, high devotion.
What I was leaning to was photography.
Great.
When I first got my camera, I went down to DC for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and
beautiful. Yeah.
I literally just took pictures for 3 hours straight.
Love it. So what does that tell us? That lines up with that creative eye. There is a parallel, Danielle, between you liking to paint or draw, also take a really pretty, awesome, beautiful picture. There's a connection there. So let's is there anything else on the work you love to do, or usually you've at least wondered about it all the time? Anything else on the list that's really high?
Yes. I feel like I'm good at analysis. That's kind of what I do
Hold on a
now
second.
at my job.
Do you love doing analysis? Do you like analyzing things?
Yeah, I feel like I'm good at it.
I didn't ask you that.
Like what
I didn't ask you that. We're going to go to what you're good at next. I want you to stay in that,
okay.
What you love to do. What I've got is draw, paint,
okay.
Creative, visually creative.
I like organizing and put things in order.
Okay, good. All right. That gives you what kind of feeling does that give you when you organize and get something that's messy and chaotic into order? What does that make you feel like?
It feels good. Like it feels like accomplishment.
There you go. Okay. Now I want to focus on what you do best. All right, Danielle, I want confident Danielle. Okay? That's what I want right now. No qualifications, no excuses. If I interviewed everybody that knows you well, Danielle, I mean everybody, what would they say you do better than anything else that you do? You do lots of things, but you do these things very well. Always comes easy to you. What is it? Things you do best.
It would be like multitasking and like being organized.
Great. Multitasking and then also organized. What else? Think of abilities, which you just gave me, and think of qualities. You know what I mean? Like character qualities, soft skills. What do you do better than anything else? If I was going to brag on you to somebody right now, you'd go, tell them this, Ken. Tell them this. I'm really good at this. What is it? Give me one more. Just one more.
Okay. I've been told I give like good advice and can teach people.
Okay. So people compliment you about that. Your ability to kind of listen to them and analyze it. You see the connection between analyzing. You kind of like it at work. And isn't it true that you analyze people's problems when they talk to you and you give advice?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Do you see a connection there, Danielle? Danielle, do you see a connection?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
You didn't go to sleep on me, did you? You know we're live right now. I can't have you nodding off. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. What I just did was walk you through the very simple process of looking at what you do best, what you love to do most. Now the question is, when you think about results of your work, what would you say matters most to you? Is it solving people problems, or is it solving another type of problem? What are the results of your work? If you created these results every day, you'd go, Ken, I feel so excited and valuable. What would it be?
I feel like it would be more on like logistical type problems.
That's perfect. I love it. That's the order. That's analyzing the problem, right? That is multitasking, coming up with the organizational brain power that you have and creating the solution to the dysfunction or the solution to the disorder. Are you tracking with me, Danielle? Does this sound right to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We got to find ways in the marketplace, Danielle, for you to use what you do best, to do what you love to do most, okay, that creates the results that matters most. So it looks like this. I'm going to use my talents of multitasking, organization, analyzing things, communicating to others, okay, because that's something you also said. And I'm going to use that to get involved with logistics and operations where I'm doing that work of analyzing the problem, coming up with a solution, organizing a plan to create the solution. Why? Because I am driven when I can create order and high functionality. Does all of that make sense to you, Danielle? Am I saying anything that's wrong?
Yes, but I don't see where the creative aspect comes into that at all.
Because you're a creative problem solver. So what people think is you don't realize that it takes creativity to solve a problem, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, do you want to do photography on the side and that feeds your creative muscle as a side hustle or as a hobby? But you told me you really love the work of logistics and the result of logistics. Keep playing this out. I just gave you a process that will allow you to keep going further. I'm not going to make you do it in front of everybody here, but you're really, really close. But I want to point out something to you, Danielle, and to the rest of the audience for a moment. You just heard Danielle do what a lot of people do. And when they start to go, okay, well, I really like this logistics side of things and I like organizing and multitasking, because those were her answers, not my suggestions. Then she goes, well, wait a second. She had to bring doubt into the picture, but it was a fair doubt. She said, wait a second, where does the creativity come in? Wait a second. Does creativity always look like, oh, I'm going to finger paint, or I'm going to create a sculpture, or I'm going to make a room look nicer? Is that creativity? Absolutely, it's creativity. But if you are a person that is analytical by nature and you like solving those type of problems, she said logistics problems. That's what she said. She's being just as creative when she analyzes a problem, comes up with a solution that brings order to it. That's creative. You are creating a solution through a process. So she's manifesting her creativity in the workplace in the form of logistics and problem solving there. But she also has an eye for art and things like that. And that's just another function of her creativity. So she can have a side hustle, photography business, whatever she wants to do there. So don't assume that creativity is only in the artistic expression. That's a bunch of garbage. It just simply doesn't hold up. 844-747-2577. We go to Austin, Texas, where Tyler joins us. Tyler, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How you doing today?
I'm living the dream, Tyler. What's going on?
Well, I'm having some career problems. Well, I'm getting beat up by the job search.
All right. Tell me what's going on.
I've just come out of ministry, and I was in ministry for like 5 years. Come home, and I'm looking for work, and ministry jobs are telling me I'm not qualified for it. Secular jobs are telling me, you'd be really good in ministry.
All right, let's stop then. Let's pause all the voices. I'm not interested in all those other people and what they have to say.
Right.
I want to know what your heart's telling you. I want you to the best of your ability, suspend your past as it relates to getting beat up a little bit and kind of leaving ministry. And I want to know why you left ministry. And were you supposed to leave ministry as your field and as your calling, or were you supposed to leave that current station? That's what I want to know. Why'd you leave ministry? Two-part question, and I want you to answer this briefly. I don't want a bunch of around-the-mill answers and excuses. I'm going to hit you right in the head here, okay? Why did you leave ministry, and should you have left ministry as your field and your calling, or should you have just left that station? Answer that.
I left ministry because I'm engaged, want to start a family, and I want to pay bills.
That's not a good reason.
But I still want to help people. I still really want to be involved with it in some way.
Yes, you do. Do you think, I'm gonna speak in terms of if you don't go to church and you're not a person of faith, don't check out here, because I'm really putting him in a situation that's still really relevant to many of you. But I'm going to hit you with some inside baseball talk. Do you feel you've been released from the calling to ministry?
I'm feeling it a lot stronger recently.
Okay. All right. That's your call. I don't get to tell you whether or not you're right or wrong. But I didn't like that answer. I don't like either one of those answers. You left ministry because you want to make more money. I get it. It makes sense, but I don't know if that's the right reason. And I also don't understand how other people are telling you you're not qualified. What position were you in?
So I was doing youth ministry.
Are you applying for youth ministry jobs when you go to other ministries?
Yeah, I am.
And they're telling you you're not qualified?
Yeah.
Does that square with you? Does that make any sense? Is there truth to that? What am I missing?
Well, they want theology degrees.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably bigger churches, right?
Yeah, it's churches. Yeah.
No, I said, are they bigger churches? Because smaller churches may make a pass on that, but other larger churches may want that degree, correct?
Most parishes in my area have been wanting that.
All right, here's the challenge.
Yeah.
You want to make more money, okay, but you still feel some sense of calling to help others, okay? So how could you do the work that do work that is similar to what you did as a youth minister, but in the marketplace? And then how are you going to square with the fact that may not be a big money position? Have you done research on, okay, I was a youth minister here in the ministry space, but what I was essentially doing is coaching and guiding and mentoring young people. That's what that role is, teaching, okay? How would I do that in the secular space and make enough money? Have you done the research so you can say, Ken, here are 2 or 3 ways I could do essentially most of what I did as a youth pastor, but do it in a different place and make more money? Do you have answers to that?
I don't.
Well, that's what you need. Because right now, you're a guy who's floundering. You left ministry, you moved to Austin, Texas, and what you're finding is when I go to secular organizations, they say, you should be in ministry after they get to know you and talk to you in the interview process. But then you go, okay, well, I'm going to go back over here. And they go, well, you don't have the degree. But the problem is until you get okay with the amount of money you would make and could make in ministry, I don't know that your heart's in a good place to step back into ministry in the first place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
How much money do you want to make?
How much
money do you want to make? That's why you left. So what's the number?
I could live pretty well on $48,000.
Okay. So do churches pay youth pastors $48,000? Probably larger churches, maybe. I don't know, but that information is out there. Huh?
Maybe larger ones, yeah.
Okay, my point is, how would you get there? So what you would do is you need to go get your degree. Well, Ken, the problem is I want to start a family and I want to do this. Well, it's not a problem. Go get a day job, Tyler. I'm just going to tell you the practical way to get there. But again, I've already expressed my concerns about your heart and your why here. Okay, I teach sweet spot living. You were created to fill a unique role. You are needed. You must do it. You don't have to do it in ministry. You can do it in multiple areas. It's not just one job, Tyler. But hear me say, practically speaking, what you need to do right now is go get a day job then that pays you $48,000 a year, and you can do that. Trust me, this is a hot job economy, and Austin, Texas is a great economy right now. All right? So there's no excuse for you not to get a day job. I'd go get the day job making somewhere between $40,000 to $50,000, get your budget and everything lined up, and start saving money or cash flowing part-time your degree in theology so that you're now qualified. And then when you're qualified with the current experience that you have as a youth pastor, plus now you got this degree in theology or whatever that they need, then you start stepping back into that space. And, maybe you go into youth pastoring of our larger church, you can make that kind of money, then great. But don't overthink this. And stop listening to what everybody else says about, well, you should be here and you should be here. No, what do you know that you are supposed to do? Go do that. 844-747-2577. Tyler just recently relocated, I believe he said. And speaking of relocation, this is a very big need for a lot of you, either now or in the future. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a new gig or at least an offer to take a new gig, and it's going to require you to move. And that comes with a lot of uncertainty. It comes with a lot of, that's nerve-wracking, a lot of anxiety because I don't know the new area very well. I don't know the schools. I'm going to have to get a realtor. I'm going to have to get a new investment advisor in that area. I'm going to have to find somebody to do my taxes, all these things. Well, I got good news. The Ramsey Relocation Guide, I'm a part of this. There's such relevant information in here, and here's what it does. It's going to give you a real practical checklist of everything you need to think about and everything you need to do, how to do it, who to do it with if you're going to have to move. It's called the Ramsey Relocation Guide. I'm talking about everything from packing to negotiating a relocation package, selling your current home, buying a new home, all the stuff and more. Text the word relocation to 33789. The number is 33789. Text the word relocation, and it's free. It's absolutely free. No strings attached. Get it. Use it. It's going to be a game changer. 844-747-2577. Let's go to the chat window. Chris Mountain is up next. What are some suggestions of good elements for an elevator pitch? I have one that I like, but I'm not sure if it's proper. Okay, I love this question. This is one of my favorite things to teach on. Here we go. 3 quick things. This is from the book Visioneering by Andy Stanley, which I cannot recommend enough. It's applicable to leaders. It's applicable to everyday people. And it's great for this idea here of how do I create a really good elevator pitch, because it needs to be 30 to 60 seconds. Here's how you do it. No matter what you're pitching, you have to, number 1, define the problem. Number 2, reveal the solution to the problem. And number 3, give the reason for the solution. Right? Here's the problem. Here's the solution. And here's the reason for the solution. That is a wonderful construct that will always work. Eric writes in, how do I negotiate a salary for a dream job in the gaming industry as a software engineer when I have many years of experience in software, just not in the specific industry? Well, here's the deal. As a software engineer, you got the chops. So I would assume, Eric, that the experience of being a software engineer is extremely transferable. We're just talking about moving spaces. So a software engineer software, right? I know, folks, that's why they pay me the big bucks, and it's why my name is on the title of the show. I got more of that great wisdom coming. But that's what's really the deal. So you've got to learn there might be some disciplines, and there might be some processes that are different, but I would say that you're probably pretty well qualified. So, maybe you can't say, well, I've been in the video gaming industry for X amount of years, so you may not be able to negotiate a whole lot here, right? We just want to get in the door. So what I would look at is, what is the market paying for you as a software engineer based on your experience and qualifications? Okay? We got that number. Then we look at the information on the gaming industry, and does it pay anything differently, and does experience play into that? So now you've got a really good idea of what you should be paid. And then you say, hey, I got to make this. And so there's not a whole lot of negotiation. It's like, if they want you, this is what you would need to make. If they say, well, you don't have the experience to make that high, but we can get you there in a year, then you kind of adjust that way. So I don't think there's a whole lot of negotiation here, other than you are full of information on what the market would bear. Are there any discrepancies between the market for the current type of software engineering you do versus what you would be doing in the video gaming? You know that, so then you're fine. And now you're going to have to just decide, am I willing to take a short-term pay cut if I see a ladder to get where I ultimately want to be? I'm okay with that if we financially have a plan for that and it doesn't put ourselves in a tough situation. Let's go to Olga next. She says, any suggestions for getting a management leadership job without any college education? The major requirement for so many jobs is 4-year schooling and having, 10 plus years of management experience. Well, again, Olga, this is one where I'd love for you to call me. If you don't have 10 years of management experience, you've got to go get that for the type of management leadership job you want, if that is the predominant requirement. So what you're going to have to do is you got to go somewhere where they don't need all that degree, and they just go, are you good with leading people and managing people? And you get in and you start working your way up the leadership ladder. Because again, let me just say this. A degree does not make you qualified to lead. You can go get a business management leadership type degree at the biggest name brand school in the United States. But I wouldn't hire you to lead anything significant. I'd put you in a low-level role where you got to manage and lead a couple people. You know, there's an old phrase out there, I don't know who it's attributed to, but if you think you're a leader and there's nobody following you, you're not a leader, right? I mean, like, you can say, oh, I'm a leader, but if we turn around, look over our shoulder, oh, wait a second, there's nobody back there. Hey, I got news, Sparky. You're not leading anybody. You've got the title, but if there's nobody following, you're not leading. So, Olga, you're going to have to get leadership experience anywhere and everywhere that you can. And then the degree thing, that's less and less of a hurdle. I think there's organizations that will hire you. They may prefer a degree, but I want to say one quick thing, because I don't know if I've said this on the YouTube show. Folks, listen to me right now. The reason that a lot of jobs still have the degree requirement attached to it is because for the last 60, 70, 80 years, okay, no, that's not true, 80s, the last 50, 60 years, when, post-World War II, when college became the pathway to success, by requiring a college degree, it was a way of trying to filter out the losers. And unfortunately, that's no longer relevant, but you're not a loser if you don't have a college degree. There are a lot of jobs out there that don't require a college degree anymore. And by the way, that's going to continue to increase. So don't let the college degree hold you up. Focus on the experience that you have, the skills that you have. And oh, by the way, if you read that book, The Proximity Principle, over my shoulder right there, you won't need the degree because you have personal connections that are vouching for your experience and your skill. You're not just a resume that's just in a big giant pile. 844-747-2577 is the number. Thank you so much for the chats. Real quick, I want to keep teaching through one of the 4 areas that you test in the Should I Quit My Job quiz at kencoleman.com. Should I quit my job? 30 questions, less than 2-3 minutes. And this report is just going zoom, zoom at kencoleman.com. It's the nudge that many of you need. And did I mention it's free? Did I mention it's less than 3 minutes? Go right now and take it. But we talked yesterday about yesterday. My brain just literally went out on me. We fizzled on it. Here we go. We talked about the wrong role in the right place yesterday. There it is, folks. I got it. It's there. Just takes a minute sometimes when you're going full speed in front of everybody. Today I want to talk about what happens if you're in the right role in the wrong place. So yesterday we talked about the wrong role in the right place. So you love the culture, you love the organization, love the people, but you're not on the right seat of the bus. Today I want to talk about what if you are on the right seat of the bus? Like this is the right role for you. You're really good at it. You got the talent. You really love to do it. It's got the passion and it creates a result that matters to you. You're on mission, but it's a toxic culture, or there are toxic people on your team, or you got a leader who is a buffoon and maybe toxic combo. Okay. So that's what we're talking about when we say you're in the right role. So you're in your sweet spot, but in a toxic environment, not a healthy environment. That is very, very possible. So what do? Well, the first thing is you got to acknowledge I'm not going to be able to change my leader, and I'm most likely not going to be able to usher in the change of a toxic culture. I might be able to engage with a healthy leader who cares about me and the team, and I might be able to alleviate the toxic team members. Maybe we do some things, we report it up, we don't gossip, we don't knife them in the back, and maybe they leave as a result of pressure or getting fired. That could happen. But largely speaking, I want to be realistic. You're not going to be able to change the toxicity. So we got to acknowledge, I'm not going to be able to make the change here, but I am in my sweet spot. Great news, I'm really clear. I know what I want to do, why I want to do it, how I want to do it. I just got to do it somewhere else. So now we use the proximity principle. We use our web of connections. We get around people that are doing what we want to do. And in places where it's happening, we really shake that relationship tree. And then we start looking for opportunities and they're going to find us. Okay. And then you get ready. You get that resume, the Ken Coleman Show resume, you get it updated, you flip it, and you use that how to win the interview guide, and you start getting out there, and before you know it, you're going to be out of there. So take heart if you're in the right role in the wrong place. Don't think that you got to change careers because of that. You got to change locations. That's the difference. I get this call from teachers a lot as an example. Elementary school teachers, Ken, I got to tell you, I feel like I'm burned out. And I say, no, you're not burned out. You got build up. And we walk through figuring out what the cause of build up on their heart is. And then I go, now listen, if I remove the causes of build up, would you still be a teacher? Would you even be calling me today? And they say, well, absolutely. I would still be a teacher. I wouldn't be calling you. So they are an example in that situation of a person who's in the right role in the wrong place. Don't change careers. Change locations, if you will, if you understand what I'm saying there. 844-747-2577. Let's get another call in here. Jackson, Mississippi is where we go next. Lisa's on the line. Lisa, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you doing?
I am living the dream, Lisa. What's happening?
Okay, so my question is, I have a state job right now, and I just got a job with the federal, and I've been trying to get in the federal for the longest. The only thing is they only want to pay me $1,500 more than my salary than what I work for the state. My question is it worth going to the federal job? I mean, with my federal job, there are more opportunities for growth. Where I'm at right now, there's no way I can grow at this point.
Yeah, so let me tell you what I just heard, and I'm going to let you answer your own question. How about that? And then I'll take a stab, all right? But I like when people answer their own questions with my guidance. Here we go. So we know that you've always wanted a federal job, and you've got that job offer right now. We know that that federal job is going to pay you $1,500 more than you're making in the state job. We also know that the federal job, while paying you not a whole lot more, is paying you more. And, Lisa, it has a ladder, which means more opportunities. You can get in and then start to move up. Did I understand everything correctly?
Correct.
What do you think you should do, Lisa?
I want to go to the federal. The thing is, my job right now is more flexible. So I just didn't, it's just a point of not wanting to make a mistake.
Okay, hold on. I'm not going to let you off the hook. All right, here we go. You redefined all of it for me. I'm going to give it to you in 3 words. Flexibility versus opportunity. Flexibility versus opportunity. Lisa, which one should you take?
Opportunities.
Yay! Tell her what she's won, Joe. You figured it out on your own, Lisa. Listen, here's the deal. Let's deal with what you're really facing, and that's doubt. You just told me, I don't want to make a mistake, Ken. So you gave me all the facts, and I'm completely impartial. I'm on Team Lisa. I don't care if it's the state job or the federal job. I don't care. I walked through the facts that you gave me, and the facts are indisputable, aren't they, Lisa?
Right.
So who cares about short-term flexibility? We care more about opportunity, and the more opportunity I have, the more flexibility I can create. Does that seem to make sense to you?
That makes a lot of sense.
Come on, Lisa. You've always wanted it. You see a ladder, and you want to climb that ladder, don't you, Lisa?
I do.
Lisa, what time is it?
It's time to climb that ladder.
It's time to climb the ladder. I like to say it's time to go. Lisa, tell everybody it's time to go in your most confident, fired up, time to go voice. Say it, Lisa.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. I like that. It's got a little sass on the end of it. I like that. Way to go, Lisa. You know what? Lisa segued for me, Joe. It's time for me to go. I'm not happy about it, but I got to go. Before I do, you matter. You do have what it takes. Thank you for joining this conversation. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.